The reason I felt comfortable going with Godzilla as the winner is because I knew that the Kong fans were still going to be satisfied, because Kong's victory is not the victory of winning the match. His victory is the Rocky victory. You know, it's never giving up. It's just never backing down. And it's almost like a foregone conclusion to a certain degree that Godzilla is going to win. But the real question is Kong going to survive? And that was sort of how I wanted to always approach.
Who wins? No, this is a crime. This is a crime. This is an actual crime. Manslaughter. Oh, actually, no, Titan slaughter. What is this? Who gave this man the gauntlet? I see it right there. You're not slick. This man does not need the gauntlet, let alone the axe, anything like that. This man will take him out with his bare hands.
Okay, he said that the 2014 Godzilla can never defeat the King Kong GXK or GVK. But here's the thing, I actually disagree with it. Because I want to give him a shout out in anyways, but I'm sorry I have to debunk the video, but I have to correct you, by the way. So that's my question with video.
Meanwhile, we have 2021 Kong fighting Godzilla who can jump. I want you to sit here and try to imagine Godzilla 2014 jumping. You can't, right? Also, Kong just threw hands with a significantly more powerful version of Godzilla. 2021 Kong alone managed to take a round off of Godzilla. In most of the movie, this man had sedation in his bloodstream. They literally had to make a specific sedative for Kong to make sure that this man stayed asleep. And dude still ran them hands with Godzilla. That's what I don't understand. And since we're using 2024 Kong, which is honestly overkill, this man is also supposed to have the gauntlet? And this version of Kong is supposed to be fighting an evolved Godzilla. And obviously we know that he's going to survive this fight considering he's in the movie later.
So he's saying that the 2014 Godzilla does not stand a chance because his Kong has taken on the stronger version of Godzilla and Kong just have the upper hand than Godzilla. But is she really sure that he does the 2024 Kong stand a chance against 2014 Godzilla? Well, the answer is no, because I'm about to show you right now.
If you look at Godzilla really carefully, like, he knows that he's kind of just playing with Kong the entire time. You know, like if you look at the ship battle fight, they have that kind of like moment where Kong is almost drowned and he's like laying on the boat and Godzilla shows up and they're kind of staring each other down. Godzilla's kind of laughing at him and like, okay, you know, like just stay right there and we're good, you know. And I think the whole time, like, Godzilla kind of thinks that they're sort of having fun. You know, if Kong dies, whatever, he doesn't really care, but like he's not really too worried about it. But when that axe shows up at the end, then things get a little bit more serious and he does have to really kind of play hard. And I think it's some of the down and dirtiest fighting that we've ever seen Godzilla do. He gets on his knees, he's like crawling around, he gets pissed off, you know, and he gets frustrated with Kong a little bit. So, you know, like there's a respect between them by the end of the film.
So yeah, Godzilla was toying with Kong from the beginning. So 2014 Godzilla does have the upper hand when it comes to strength, durability, battle intelligence, experience, and combat. Wait, why combat? Because Godzilla was amped in the fight. If Godzilla wasn't amped, then he would have stand a chance. I mean, he will always stand a chance against Kong, and if he was weakened or not. So, it doesn't matter who wins the fight. It doesn't matter that Godzilla does beat Kong. Even his 2014 weakened state, he can beat Kong with ease because he's in the fight, he's smarter, and the ability to beat down Muta Prime. And Muta Prime was the toughest. His durability was insane. And Godzilla just destroyed it with ease. And also Godzilla's weakened state, his energy and ability to blast his Muta Prime up the air, and Muta Prime weighed a ton. So yeah, 2014 does have and does stop there because 2014 Godzilla just smashes Muta head Prime with ease, no hard difficulty. Just ease. I mean, have you watched Godzilla Aftershock? it was so good.
Approach it. Through the course of making the film, you're constantly trying to find clever new ways for the monsters to fight each other. And when Kong goes into Hollow Earth, I just felt like, he's in this big temple. He's got to get some sort of artifact, to be able to use on the surface. And that kind of evolved into this, Godzilla fin axe, thing that he gets. And that sort of evolved into being not just a cool thing in the film, but it became a kind of like the main catalyst of the plot. It became like sort of like what the movie was about, weirdly. But that wasn't how we started. That's something that kind of naturally evolved through the course of the making the movie. And it was really important that Kong did have something that gave him the upper hand, so that it wasn't just going to be like, okay, he's beating Godzilla around and it just doesn't really work out or something. He needed to have like kind of a fair shake in the fight.
Speaking of the axe, Edwin was meant to say he was joking about the axe and the hollow earth. So I am not trying to say you are buffoon, you are not buffoon, you're just a good person, but you're misunderstanding. So the real winner of the fight would have to be Godzilla 2014, because who else will win the fight between them? Also, Godzilla, even though there's a lot of problem, a lot. There's one there, and the other, and the Kong was scared, and he was very scared, and he almost died in the fight, and he's unable to knock out Godzilla. He does knock down Godzilla, but not knock out. But yeah, so if Kong would have won if he had lightning powers, but sadly he don't. But if Godzilla was amp mode, it would be just like Godzilla versus King Kong 1962. It'd be 4 round 3 when they fight.
2014 Godzilla was a force to be reckoned with, but there are some things that we have to go over. First of all, do we remember how slow Godzilla 2014 was?
Yes, he was slow when he was in 2014, but the real reason why, because he was physically weakened by the Mutos. If he wasn't weakened by the Mutos, then Godzilla 2014 would be faster, stronger, and much smarter. Actually, he would have been smarter in the fight. To be honest, Kong would stand a chance. No offense.
And Kong 2024 is no doubt stronger, faster, smarter than Godzilla 2014. I will say that Godzilla 2014 definitely has the edge in durability and experience, but even with that durability, a sedated Kong was able to punch a stronger Godzilla and affect him.
And I actually disagree with that, because in reality, Godzilla have the edge of strength, durability, speed, agility, combat, skill, battling experience, battle combat, reaction speed. Well, Kong does have an edge of intelligence and weaponry, but that's all he got. So yeah, he wouldn't stand a chance at all.
So what do you think a fully awake Beast Glove Kong fitted punch would do to a 2014 Godzilla? No lie, it would probably knock him out in one punch. And please, don't get me started on 2014's Atomic Breath, because he might as well not even use it in this fight. The fact that Kong survived an Atomic Breath that was 10 times stronger than 2014's basically makes 2014's Atomic Breath useless.
Another thing I disagree with, after what I show you about how really powerful this 2014 Godzilla Atomic Breath is. So yeah, it's also a different power. Also, Kong will knock him out. Godzilla he got punched in the face really harder than in Kong's with Beast Glove, and what really happened, it'll end up like this. Yeah, that's how it would have started, but if Godzilla using atomic breath, it'll be just like 1962. It does harm Kong, but it wouldn't hurt him that much. But Godzilla does, atomic breath does hurt Kong.